If you're watching this video and you're tired of your job, tired of working for somebody else, tired of wasting your potential, then stick out to the end of this video because I'm going to teach you exactly how to turn any skill or knowledge that you already have into a passive income machine that makes you over 6K per month passively. And the best part is that 90% of the job is already done for you by AI. So if I were you, I would bring out my pen and paper and let's get started. To make the long story short, we're going to be selling AI digital products based on a skill or knowledge that we already have. Now, the first step to this entire process is number one, of course, identifying a knowledge or expertise or skill that you have. And I know what you're thinking right now. Bro, I don't have any skills, I don't have any expertise, nothing really comes to my mind. Let me explain everything. A lot of times we tend to think that we don't have skills, that we don't really have much knowledge, but we actually do. But the reason why we don't realize it is because they feel second nature to us. You just need to take some time to ask yourself a few questions. Number one, what have you learned these past few years? In life, you always have ups and downs, and you always learn a lesson after every challenge. And you need to ask yourself, what lesson have I learned? And whatever lesson that is, you can teach that to somebody else in a digital product format and get paid for it. Let's say during these past 5 years, you was dealing with extreme chronic procrastination, but now it's not as bad. Right now, you're a bit more productive, you know how to manage your time properly, you don't get overwhelmed by tasks. Just because you're not some crazy guru productivity expert, that doesn't mean that you can't make money from it. The simple fact that you are a step ahead than where you was 5 years ago, procrastination wise, that makes you an authority now. And I know this sounds absolutely crazy, but in psychology, there's this law that the moment you can give advice or you can teach something to someone, there's a power dynamic shift. And once you have that authority, that's where you can actually position yourself to make money from it. And I know this might sound a bit complicated, but just think about it this way. What challenges have you overcome these past few years? Maybe you were super lazy, now you're a bit more productive. Maybe before you were super skinny, now you're a bit more buff. Maybe these past few years you was super emotionally dependent on other people and now you're more emotionally independent. All of these things, all of these challenges that you overcome in life, even if it's as small as you overcoming a heartbreak, you can teach that to somebody else and get paid for it. And trust me, once again, you don't need to be a crazy expert because whatever knowledge and information that you already have or expertise, you can use AI to enhance your own knowledge, make it better. Because think about it, AI literally has access to all of the information by the brightest minds and experts in any field on this whole planet. It's called artificial intelligence for a reason, and anybody that isn't using AI to make money is literally being stupid. And don't take my word for it. Look at everybody online right now making thousands of AI, including myself. So if you want to actually create a business that works for you, then you need to use AI to not only enhance your own skill or knowledge, but to also create the product and sell it for you. And this brings me to point number two. Now, I almost forgot. Before I even go into point number two, I'm going to be leaving a few prompts on the screen and a few questions on the screen that you can ask yourself so you can take some time to identify any knowledge or skill that you already have so you can turn that into a digital product. Now let's move on to point number two. Now that you know what your skill is or your knowledge is, you want to trim it down into a niche, or in other words, a topic. So let's say, for example, that you overcame procrastination or chronic procrastination and now you're being more productive. We're going into the whole productivity space. So that is going to be your niche. That is going to be your brand or your topic. What you want to do now is niche it down as much as possible. So what do I mean? For you to actually make the most out of this opportunity and monetize this skill or knowledge that you have about productivity, for example, you want to target a specific group of people with a specific problem. For example, if 5 years ago you was managing your money horribly, like you was always in overdraft, always in that you didn't know how to manage your money, but now you know how to budget your money, you're way more financially structured, you can teach people how to budget their money. Now, instead of just teaching people how to budget, you can help freelancers save 1K per month. You get what I mean? So now that is way more specific because we're targeting a specific group of people, but we're also targeting a specific problem that they have. They're probably struggling with saving an extra $1,000 to $2,000 every month, and we're giving them the solution to get there. Let's take another example. Let's say you're a female watching this and you was pregnant, let's say 3 years ago. And after your pregnancy, despite of you not really being in much shape, you was able to regain back your shape in a matter of a few months without you necessarily going to the gym. What you can do is target busy moms that work from home that just had a pregnancy, how to get back in shape without them having to go to the gym or using other techniques that are super time consuming because once again, they're busy moms. So essentially what I'm trying to say here is that you need to find a specific group of people with a specific problem and then help them get the solution that they're looking for. So it's really not that complicated and it doesn't even take that long. And if you ever need any help, you can ask ChatGPT to help you out. So I'm going to be leaving some prompts on the screen right now or questions you can ask yourself to kind of get a better understanding of what type of people should you target and what are their problems. Now that we're talking about an audience, now that we know what type of people we're targeting, we need to really and deeply understand them. What are their pains, their struggles, their nightmares, their dreams, their desires? What is it that they aspire to in life? What do they think about on a daily basis? Where do they go? Who do they hang out with? You want to have a deep understanding of who exactly you're targeting, so that once you do start selling the product, whether it be through your marketing or even through your sales, or even creating a product in and of itself, you know exactly who you're selling this to. So what you want to do is you have two options. You can either, number one, manually go to topicmojo.com and do in-depth research on all the forums that show up, like Google questions or Reddit or Quora, and then get a good understanding of what is going on in the space. Look at the people's language, try to understand what is it that they speak about very often, what are their struggles, what are their habits, what are topics of conversations that come up very often within this space. And you take your time to figure out their pains, their dreams, their desires, their struggles, and then you should be good. But if you want to save yourself some time and effort, you can simply use ChatGPT to give you all of those details about that specific audience. And once again, of course, I'm going to be leaving the prompt on the screen right now so you can check that out. Take your time, copy, paste it into ChatGPT. I'm also going to be leaving it in the link in the description, so make sure to check that out. But that being said, in a matter of a few seconds, once you put in a few information about your audience, ChatGPT is going to give you all of the information, all of the pains, all of the desires, all of the thought processes of your audience. And the reason why this step is crucial is because if we don't know who we're targeting, if we don't know what are their problems, what are their dreams, once we do start the marketing for a product, we won't be able to make any sales because it's not targeted to them specifically. Not only that, once we do start to create the product, we're going to create a product that's not going to be aligned with them because we don't even know what they're struggling with. How can you provide a solution if you don't even know the problem? Business is all about solving problems, but you need to know the problem in and of itself so you can actually solve it. So make sure that you do not skip this step. Go to ChatGPT or do some manual research and deeply try to understand your audience. Moving on to point number 4, you need to actually create the product so you can sell it. Now, when it comes to creating the product, the strategy is very simple. You want to choose one of these 4 products. So you can either do one-on-one coaching or group coaching. You can do a faceless mini course, a PDF guide, or templates. Now, depending on your knowledge or your skill, this might vary. And of course, also depending on how you like to interact with people, that's going to change as well. If you're somebody that actually likes working with people one-on-one, or you just like interacting with people overall, then group coaching and one-on-one coaching might be your best option. Especially when it comes to you getting paid more money quicker, because with one-on-one coaching, the minimum you should be charging is at least 1K. With other digital products, on the other hand, like PDF guides, ebooks, or faceless mini courses, you want to be pricing them around $27 to $97, and as you get more feedback and more testimonials, you can probably increase it all the way to $500, right? But everything has a step-by-step. You need to take your time with this, right? That being said, let's say, for example, that you have the skill of copywriting or you have the skill of building funnels. Instead of you building a PDF guide on how to actually create an email campaign, what you can do is create a done-for-you template, email sequence template that you can sell to business owners that actually want to increase their conversion rates with their email sequences. So the digital product that you choose is all going to depend on your skill and your actual target. If on the other hand, you're somebody that is targeting lazy people that want to be more productive, or better yet, remote workers that are struggling to be consistent and productive at home, what you can do is, instead of selling a template, you can either create a Notion tracker, which are super easy to create. You can literally just duplicate it on Notion and then change a few things and sell it. Or you can create a PDF guide giving all the step-by-steps and resources on how you made it happen, and then you can sell it to them. So it all depends on your market and also your offer. And once again, if you ever need any help with this, you can either DM me on Instagram, the link is in the description, or you can ask ChatGPT and it's gonna let you know which option is best for you. When it comes to creating a product in and of itself, you have 2 options. Maybe I would even say 3 options. You can either, number 1, hire somebody on Upwork or Fiverr or any other website to make a digital product for you and you pay them for it. You can either, number 2, manually create everything yourself with your own knowledge and your own skills and take your time and then create the whole thing from scratch. Or you can, number 3, which I find is the best option, use AI to create the entire product. Now, don't get me wrong, AI can make mistakes, and a digital product completely made by AI can come off as a bit weird. So what you want to do is use your existing knowledge, use your existing expertise, and then combine it with the expertise of AI so you can make a compact digital product that is actually going to solve the problem that your audience has. And you already know the drill. The exact prompt that I use to create my digital products from scratch with my own skills and AIs, I'm gonna be leaving the prompt on the screen right now, or you can check it out in the link in the description. Take your time, read it, and make sure to modify it so it's personalized to your offer, your audience, and your skill. That being said, once you have your digital product, let's say it's a PDF guide, you have multiple options when it comes to actually crafting it. You can either, number one, use Google Docs, copy paste the stuff that you got from ChatGPT, and export it as a PDF, and then you sell it on Gumroad.com, for example. You can do that, or you can use websites such as Designer with 2 R's or ebook Maker, and then from there, all you have to do is just copy paste the information that you got from ChatGPT, and the AI is going to create an entire PDF guide or ebook for you. But keep in mind that those are paid softwares. I think that ebook Maker is free, but it has a credit system. So keep that in mind. If you don't really have much money, you don't want to spend that money on a software, what you can do is use Canva templates. So on Canva, you can find tons of free ebook templates or PDF guide templates that you can use and simply modify it, take your time, maybe change the colors, change the fonts, and once again, copy paste the information that you got from ChatGPT. Let's say in the context that you're selling one-on-one coaching or group coaching, you have 2 options. You can either, number one, type in all of your information that you got from ChatGPT on a Google Doc and then give it that way to your clients, or you can use Gamma AI, that is an AI that creates presentation slides based on the information that you give it. So once again, you copy paste all the information that you got from ChatGPT, paste it into Gamma AI, and in a matter of a few minutes, you're gonna get an entire presentation slide that you can use while you're coaching your clients on a coaching call. And this exact strategy, you can use it for Faceless mini courses as well. You can take all the information from ChatGPT, bring it onto Gamma AI, and then you have an entire course made for you. And if you're specifically looking to create a mini course or any type of course for your audience, then check the link in the description because I'm giving out a free course outline / course template / course presentation template that you guys can use for free to create your course. And of course, all you have to do is just modify it, add in your information that you got from ChatGPT, and you're Gucci. And of course, if you haven't noticed by now, you need to sell these products in a specific website. You can either do that on system.io or Gumroad.com. I feel like those two are the best ones because not only is it free, we can also use automated email campaigns on the back end once people purchase the product. So you can upsell them into another paid product that you have, whether that be you want to make them your client on a retainer, or you have another paid product that is 10 times more expensive or 10 times more valuable. You can then upsell them that way with an email automated campaign on the back end. That being said, now that you have your product, now that you know who you're targeting, you need to actually sell it. Just like I said before, you're gonna be hosting the product on Gumroad or System.io, but you need a marketing strategy to get people interested in the product so they can know about it. Let's say, for example, that you're targeting freelancers that want to save money every single month. Let's say they wanna budget their money better so they can save at least 1K every single month. What you wanna do is you want to create content, but also run ads that's going to attract them naturally, and then from there, convert them through the DMs. Now I have tons of videos on my channel explaining this process a bit more in detail, so make sure that you check out my channel. I'm gonna be popping it in the screen right now. But that being said, you want to run content, but also run ads that are very specific to your audience. An example of a video, maybe I'm gonna leave a screenshot on the screen of how I've used it in the past. You want to make a post that literally says, if you are a freelancer and you're tired of being in debt, tired of being in overdraft, and you're struggling to manage your money correctly, read the caption. And essentially in the caption, you're going to tease certain solutions in certain ways that you would fix the problem of being bad with your budget as a freelancer. And then what you can do is through the caption as well, or even on the video itself, you do a call to action telling people to DM you or comment the word X, for example, and they can get your product that actually helps them budget their money better as a freelancer. And this is a very simple strategy that literally takes less than 10 minutes to create. You create a video of yourself, or you use a clip, a background clip, which by the way, you can get in the link in the description inside my free digital synthesis blueprint. Inside there, if you scroll enough, you're gonna find a full content vault that if you ever wanna run this business faceless, you can use clips inside. They're all high quality and you can use them for your brand. But that being said, you want to record yourself or use a clip from the content vault around 5 to 6 seconds with a hook on the screen that specifically targets them in their pain, and then do a call to action to make them read the caption. And inside the caption, you give out some information, tease the solution, and you make them comment, drop a follow, or DM you so they can actually get your product. And this is a very simple strategy that you can use, and no matter what the niche is. Now, of course, there are way more strategies when it comes to content and ads that you should most definitely use so you can make the most out of this opportunity, which once again, if you want to know more about it, check the link in the description or the pop-up on the screen right now where I explain a bit more what should be your marketing strategy when it comes to ads and content. Now, once you've gotten a good amount of traffic with your ads, with your content, and by the way, if you're planning on running ads, you don't even need a huge budget to get started. Like anywhere from $3 to $10 a day should be more than enough as a beginner for you to get all the traffic that you need, but also be able to kind of test out how things are looking like in your market. Once you get a good amount of traffic, you can then use conversations in the DMs with your audience to kind of get an understanding of where they're at. What's their situation? What got them interested? What are their goals? What's stopping them from achieving their goals? Why is that so important? Do they want help? And once you have this conversation with them, you can then either offer them your product or you can just use that as feedback or market data so you can make a better product if your product isn't ready yet. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, a very simple and reliable system to make an extra $6K per month passively with a skill or knowledge that you already have using AI. So if you found anything in this video valuable, make sure to drop a like, that you subscribe. But if you want to know more about this business, how it works and how to get started step by step, then once again, check the link in the description for a free guide that explains everything A to Z, including all of my resources that I use on a daily basis. But if you already know about this business and you're planning on getting started, but you don't really know how to get started, you feel like you need some help, or you already have started a digital product business, but you're kind of struggling to scale the business, then book a one-on-one call with me and we're going to have a conversation on how I could potentially help you hit that $6K per month passively with an AI digital product business. I'm going to be helping you every single week with 2 to 3 calls a week, guide you and give you all of my strategies, all of my resources, and even do certain tasks for you so you can make money in this golden opportunity. Now, I like working with specific people, so make sure that you send me a DM on Instagram or you book a one-on-one call with me so we can get to know each other a bit more and I can see if you're actually committed about this. Once again, I like working with specific people, so if you actually are committed and serious on scaling this business to the moon, then check the link in the description, book a one-on-one call with me, and we'll get you started ASAP. That being said, I'll see you soon.